Yo, gamer name here and welcome back to another Tekken 8 video. I know it's been a while since we've talked about some good ass Tekken. So today I thought I would talk about just Tekken 8 as a whole, right? Let's try to catch up with what's been going on and my thoughts about expectations versus reality, because I have a lot of things on my mind that I hope aren't true, and a lot of things on my mind as well that I think are going to be what I think they're going to be. I'll dive deep into that a little bit more. Okay, so Tekken 8 was first announced last year, I believe September 2022 at State of Play. We first got a teaser trailer at EVO of last year, so it's been basically a year, right? 22nd September is like, what, 3 weeks from now? So basically a year ago today, or a year ago in September, Tekken 8 was revealed. So from then we've been getting a bunch of character trailers, so much news concerning the hit system, how the new mechanics work, what has changed, you know, how they worked on so many characters from scratch again, body models, redesigns, all that stuff. So Tekken 8 has gone through a lot, not gonna lie, right? Since it's only been 1 year. So the first thing I want to talk about today is the release date, right? Is January of next year really soon, or is that like enough time for them to actually do the release date? Because I have a few people that think it's too early, and I'm not gonna lie, me inclusive as well. So the thing is, like, everyone wants this to be amazing, right? Everyone wants this to be like the greatest Tekken game there has ever been, right? And me inclusive. So I was kind of sus when I heard the release. It was January. A lot of people, including me, were expecting something like maybe March of next year, maybe June of next year, honestly, like late or mid 2024. But it's a good thing, you get to get the game early. But the fear that's in my mind, like the fear that I have, is they've rushed it, right? They've rushed it. The content is not really that complete, because we're coming, guys, keep in mind, we're coming from Tekken 7, right? Tekken 7 has like bare bones, or launched with like bare bones game modes. The online had to go through so many updates to be what it is today, and even such, it's not really like that great, the online Tekken mode for Tekken 7. So you get where I'm coming from, right? There's like so much to be scared about considering where we're coming from. So seeing that release date is kind of I don't know, but like the Bandai Namco team is a huge team, right? They've had over a year now to work on the game. They haven't really been doing anything with Tekken 7, so it's kind of reassuring knowing they've been focusing mainly on Tekken 8. So that's kind of like a positive side to things, right? So the fear of the game being rushed is what really just bothers me. We saw customization earlier this month, or late last month. We saw customization shown, and already people are kind of disappointed because it's not as in-depth as the Tekken 6 customization mode, right? There are a few things missing, but I guess we'll need more information. We do have some new things like character swaps on costumes, so we never know until we like fully dive deep into the customization mode and just see like what's really going on. But for the fact that it's not really as deep as Tekken 6 already is a red flag, right? It's a red flag considering how much time they have put in this game, right? Customization is kind of like a mainstay for Tekken, right? When people think of Tekken, customization is always at the top of those thoughts. So it's just another fear. Now again, I don't want to sound like negative, but we have to wait for release. Until the game is actually released, we get to dive deep into the customization mode. As of now, I'm just judging from face value from what we've seen. So thirdly is the story mode. Now story mode, I think, was one of the first things to be completed. For story mode, I kind of have high expectations for story mode, considering the backlash that Tekken 7 got in terms of the, you know, the reporter. Like, bro, the whole reporter thing was a snooze fest. Jesus fucking Christ, it was so bad. It was so bad. So they have gotten some feedback from that, and hopefully they do better, right? They do better. So just keep in mind, the last two games, Tekken 6, Tekken 7, the story mode was not that great for both games, right? So keep in mind that we're coming from these two games that had a mid or like average story mode. So I have high expectations for Tekken 8 story, considering we're also getting June back, right? So June will add more depth to the Tekken 8 lore, which I hope will be the case, because man, oh man, they can't blow this story mode. Like, they just really can't. They can't. They shouldn't. So hopefully story mode is not as bad as Tekken 7. So the high hopes are there. Okay. Fourthly, the character roster so far. Like, the character roster has received so many different opinions, right? People are happy with it, people are disappointed with it. There are so many missing characters, which is expected because Tekken has a huge roster. It has a huge roster, and for some reason, I don't know why, Tekken fans are more attached to their characters, more so than other games such as MK or SF, right? Like, those guys rework so many characters each time there's a new game. So I think with Tekken, like, since we know their move lists from like Tekken 3, early Tekken days, most of like the core moves are still with the characters, so we like build up this attachment to the characters, it seems. Because man, people tend to lose their shit when characters miss the roster, Jesus Christ. So mainstay characters like Eddie, right, Armor King, not really mainstay, but like favorites, Tekken 7 favorites, Armor King, I think Kunimitsu was also a very favorite character, Julia was favored, I see a lot of people complain about Miguel, right, Lei has a good fan base, so a lot of characters are missing, which is expected. Like, for me, I'm happy, right? Obviously I main Laz, so I'm chilling. I'm happy to see Raven back. I play me some Raven, I love me some Raven. And of course, Steve Azo is my boy. I will dive into other characters, maybe like Drag and Shaheen. But the roster for me is big enough to, like, you know, mess around with new characters, because every character is unique in their own way, right? The hit system has added a lot of depth in terms of like character personality and like uniqueness, right? Just try different characters, guys. You find yourself having fun with a character you least expect, right? I tried out Asuka in the CNT, and man, she is really fun. Her hit spam bullshit is like really fun. So like, yeah, your character might be missing from like best roster, but guys, just try to mess around with new characters. And we all know how huge the T7 roster got, so we might see these characters back, right? AK might return again as a DLC character, considering he's one of the most popular characters in Tekken 7, huge fan base, so there's still hope, right? We still have, you know, seasons, maybe 5 or 6 seasons, DLCs, so it's just be patient. It's all that it is. It's just patience. Your character will come eventually. If not, find another character to use. Trust me when I say you do have another character that you can play in this game. You just find the strength to try out new characters, because, you know, it be like that, guys. It be like that. Sometimes the character won't make it, sometimes they'll make it. So just give it a chance, right? Explore. And lastly, I want to talk about balance, right? Because the hit system is fucking busted. The hit system is broken. It needs so many changes. I feel like the combos are too long, too long. The scaling is bad, right? Like, in terms of like bound and tailspin, it worked in the sense that the more hits you landed on the character in the air, right, the further you would bound them on the ground, or the further the tailspin. Like, so like for me with the whole corkscrew thing, it feels as though even if you land a bunch of moves when doing a juggle, you still get the character like land close to you, right? Despite the number of hits in the air, so which really sucks. It makes the scaling really bad, so they really need to balance it. And additionally, I feel as though the hit mechanic needs like another defensive move, because the offense is too stupid, right? Every character now is like 50-50 in hit, which I don't like. There should be characters that have mix-ups. Some have pressure, some have grabs, right? Make them different in a sense, not just making everyone like 50-50. You know, it's really annoying. So I really hope they change that. All in all, the game really does look good. It looks fun. Like, first of all, it looks fun, it looks amazing. We're expecting big things to come from Tekken 8, and that's my biggest fear, right? The hype is too much, the expectations are too high. So the disappointment is going to hurt, right? So just keep an open mind, guys. You know, at the end of the day, it's Namco, right? The netcode as well is not as great as Street Fighter 6, but we do hear that 3D is really difficult to implement, so we just have to wait and see. So anyway guys, just really wanted to share my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please do consider subscribing and like the video if you haven't already. We're only like 4 months away until launch, so not really that far back. So yeah, thanks guys, and GG.